What's good, everyone? So, I'm going to be covering Wailord and Wailmer. Finally, these Pokemon are actually deserving of being the largest Pokemon in existence. They were shit, given how huge, and how infamous they are. They were garbage. It sucks. They have much better stat distribution now, and Wailord has access to huge power and drizzle. So in this hack, you do have access to infinite usability capsules, and so what Wailord can do is it can run an incredibly powerful huge power set, and then the next boss fight, you switch around your EVs with the infinite and instantaneous EV training items. Next boss fight, you run drizzle. It's really that simple, and it's great. It also has a lot of utility with drizzle. So while drizzle is slightly weaker than huge power overall, if you do the math, drizzle is slightly stronger than huge power if you do the math. Drizzle only affects your water stab, and it only lasts for 5 to 11 turns now. With Damp Rock is buffed as well in this hack, so just to make weather a little bit, weather without the ability is a little bit more viable of an option for you, because that's really cool. But yeah, these guys have they have the highest HP stat in the game now. HP is based a lot more on size in this ROM hack, not entirely, but somewhat. And so I figured it was fitting for Wailord to be the highest HP. Blissey now has 155 and has a totally reworked stat spread, and is a totally different Pokemon now. Well, not totally different, but it's very different, so you can check out that video. Also, as always, there is a link in the description down below for a very, very detailed guide to all of these changes. You can check out all of that down below there. Every single move is buffed or changed besides like a handful, so I would totally check that out. Definitely worth your time checking that out. So thank you if you do. It would be helpful for you. But back on topic with Wailord, yes, they have the highest base HP stat in the game. So 275 bulk on a pure water type is insanely tanky. 75 defenses is not that great, but obviously when you consider the HP stat, it's really tanky. He can tank a lot of even strong super effective hits at least once. And then of course he is insanely powerful, given that he is the largest Pokemon in the hack, in the world. I mean, in the Pokemon universe. So if you take 130 special attack, that hits 379. Actually, excuse me, that's with a weird EV spread. That hits 394. That sounds about more right. And if you add a 50% boost on top of that for drizzle, actually you can even add a 2.25 because of the way that works. It actually stacks with drizzle. So essentially 394 times 2.25 from a stab water move hits 886, as opposed to a stab huge power water move without drizzle up, of course, without the rain. Obviously in the rain, if you want to run a rain team and then use physical huge power Wailord, then yeah, obviously you're doing incredible damage there. For context, something like Azumarill has 50 base attack, and that is equal to roughly 149 base attack with huge power. So Wailord, his base attack is equal to probably about 240-ish. Let's actually do the math. And obviously, I don't think I need to explain, even for half a second, why these abilities fit for Wailord. Huge power and drizzle are just perfect fits for Wailord. Drizzle is more just because I want special sets to be viable as well, with those giant water type attacks. Drizzle is also good because, again, it can support your team. It can make your team resistant to fire. It activates Weather Ball on your teammates, which basically all special attackers get now. So even if you're not running a dedicated rain team, rain is still useful for your team. It also overrides other weather, which can be useful for boss fights, again, even if you're not running a strict rain team. And then if you are running actual rain abusers, then it's even better, obviously. Wailord does not get any switch moves, however. Most Pokemon in this hack get access to Volt Switch, U-Turn, or Parting Shot via TM, but Wailord doesn't get any of those, so you're gonna have to run Eject Button if you want to do that, or just run Eject Button is infinite use now, by the way, so that's really cool as like a pivot. But yeah, back to the math. Let's stay focused here. So 130 special attack is 394, while with 50% boost from the rain. While I'm not even gonna factor in a 2.25. Actually, no, I will because it stacks. So 75 with huge power hits 273. 273 times 2 is 546 attack. All right, initially I actually had 80 attack, 80 defense, and 80 speed def, and 30 speed, but I have like a little group of friends that gives me input on changes and stuff, and just to keep me in check, because if I had, just helps to have a second opinion. They were insisting that 30 speed is too slow. So, another thing is, yes, they are 600 base stat total. There are plenty of new pseudo legendaries. Technically, I guess Wailord would qualify as one, but it's not a true pseudo legendary. It's not a 3-stage Pokemon that the true pseudos of all at 25 and 45, the quote-unquote like two-stage pseudos, which currently are Gyarados, Wailord, and Steelix. Those are currently those three Pokemon currently are the 600 base level two-stage evolutions, and there's even more that are 575 two-stage evolutions, and there's also other. The power levels in attack are very high. If it wasn't obvious already, Wailord isn't just like the most broken Pokemon in attack. No, every Pokemon in attack is very strong and very, very viable. That's the entire purpose of the hack. So, yeah, it doesn't mean that Wailord's bad. He's fucking insane. I mean, he's a super tanky pure water type with insane offensive stats, and good bulk, great bulk, incredible bulk, and solid coverage. That's rich. And he's also he has access to Aqua Ring. Aqua Ring heals him by 50% of his HP. Aqua Ring is water type recover now, so that's great. Let me quickly. I've been considering renaming that for a while because I feel like it's not. People might not notice, but I don't know how to even name it into. Anyways, it's like what if water type recover be named? I could probably figure out a good name. Let me know in the comments if you think that the Aqua Ring should stay or not, because it's been bothering me for a while. Because I've named a lot of other healing moves, renamed a lot of those to make more sense. But anyways, 409. Sorry, there's 273 hits, 546. Okay. I didn't even have to do that. So, you're at what, like 240, 230, 220? Oh, damn, not as high as I thought. 199. Yeah, that was with 80 base attack was higher. Yeah, so 199 base attack. So you have 199 base attack, and you have 130 special attack with Drizzle, which is obviously your special Drizzle moves are much stronger. For example, times this by 1.5. 819 versus 886. Okay, so 886 special attack with Drizzle, 819 with huge power. However, Drizzle only works on water type moves, which is kind of a bummer. Not that 130 special attack is bad, because when you're using stuff like Ice Beam, for example, special coverage wise, Wailord has access to 80 base power Signal Beam, 90 base power Ice Beam, 120 base power Blizzard. Actually, I'm not going to list the base power for all these moves. You can check out all the buffs and changes to these old moves in the description down below, but they all are, for the most part, changed in some regard. So especially it has Signal Beam, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Hurricane, which is great with Drizzle, because I do want to encourage the special sets, because, again, huge power is incredibly powerful, while Drizzle only boosts water moves. So Drizzle is inherently more situational, but it's still an incredible ability nonetheless. Not only for the team support, but also just because it is technically stronger than huge power when you're using water moves. And then, of course, you do have good coverage to hit things that resist water. So, bug, poison, ice, those three things will hit things that resist water, like grass types and whatnot. And then you also have Hurricane, so flying as well. So that's your special coverage, right? You got poison, bug, ice, and flying. And then you also have nature power and hidden power, and weather ball, which won't work, never mind. I was going to say weather ball on the side, but wouldn't work. But hidden power obviously is any type, but then nature power is actually buffed to give, natural gift is buffed to be 110 base power special move. So if you slap, for example, a Wakan Berry on your Wailord, now you get a 110 base power electric move that's one-time use, which is pretty cool. And then you also have nature power, which is what I was actually talking about. So nature power under grassy terrain gets you energy ball, which, grassy terrain Pokemon or grassy terrain is a DM. You can use that with your team, and then also you get Thunderbolt with electric terrain, and Moonblast with misty terrain, and Psychic with psychic terrain. So, you can run Wailord in terrain to get more coverage if you need that for special sets. As for physical sets have access to stronger coverage moves. Again, your coverage moves on Wailord on physical sets are twice as strong, because you have huge power. It doesn't just boost water moves, so that is really good. You have first impression for priority on the physical side. Also on the special side, you have bubble shot for priority. I didn't give them Aqua Jet because I wanted to. Not only do I just not. I've been very generous with priority moves in this hack. Basically every Pokemon has at least one, and Wailord still has two. It has bubble shot and first impression, but I didn't see Aqua Jet because he's just too massive to move that fast. I just don't see it. There's no way he can jet forward. I don't see it. It's a little bit ridiculous to envision that. But nonetheless, Bubble Shot is great for special sets, and then of course First Impression is a reteachable TM, which is also good coverage for Wailord, and that is really useful for physical sets with huge power. And then otherwise, so you have Steel coverage with Iron Head and Heavy Slam. You have Psychic type coverage with Zen Headbutt. You have Bug type coverage with First Impression and Lunge, and then you have Rock type coverage with Rock Tomb, Rock Slide, and Stone Edge, and then physical fighting type coverage with Takedown and Superpower. Also, specially, you have Focus Blast. I forgot to mention that, so that's also good coverage late game. Obviously, that's very late in the hack. That'll be late Pony Island, or mid Pony Island, actually. Late Pony Island is an exaggeration. Mid Pony Island. So that's good. Very good. So that's awesome for offensive. All right, it's a super strong mon. Wailmer does have unaware instead of huge power. It's funny actually. So I essentially made it so Wailmer's HP literally doubles when it evolves, and then its attack, defense, and special defense are exactly the same. I think that's pretty cool and funny. Obviously, his defenses are much higher because of the double HP, and then his attack is much higher because of huge power. So I think that's a really cute little like stat spread there. Unaware instead of huge power. Unaware is actually a very good option. You could technically wait to evolve Wailmer a couple levels. For example, for Totem Mimikyu, say Totem Mimikyu is 43. You might want to wait until level 43 to evolve so you can use Unaware Clear Smog. That would be very good. Or Unaware Haze if you would rather use that. I don't know why, but yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And you could then evolve after that fight. Not to mention, I actually did the calcs. Violate Wailmer. So basically, with 0 HP investment, on both, a Violate Wailmer is bulkier by not that much, but a good margin, like 10%-ish. But if they both have max HP and max physical defense or max special defense, meaning max in both, then they are identically as bulky. Don't ask me how that works. Pokemon HP stat is fucking weird. I don't want to get into it, but they are equally as bulky, so it's not like Wailmer is that much bulkier. It's technically equally as bulky with a Violate, which is funny how that works out. But you're mostly using that for Unaware. And 100 special attack with Drizzle is still very strong, obviously. And it's also 10 points faster, I guess, if you wanted to use like a Scarf Drizzle water spell, but that's not very good. It's just if you really wanted it. Unaware is very useful, especially in a hack where a lot of things have boosting options. So it's definitely a choice, but not as viable with choices other Violate Pokemon, where like it's genuinely something that you really will have to consider, or like it's genuinely up to personal preference which one you use. In this case, it's Wailord is still a little bit better, but you can totally use Wailmer, at least for a couple levels. They get a lot of great utility. So Battle Cry, I gave them Battle Cry because they learned Noble Roar normally, and Battle Cry literally came from Noble Roar. That's where the animation comes from. And I was like, you know what? It's a great utility move. They are giant, bulky, pure water type. And Battle Cry is literally just double Noble Roar. So Battle Cry drops both the opponent's offensive stats by 2, which is insane. A lot of Pokemon have access to that, but that's great on Wailord. You also have other utility with Tickle, Soak. Z-Soak will actually give them +2 special attack. They also have Calm Mind and Bulk Up to boost up, which is really nice with Aqua Ring to heal. Physically, they also get Play Rough for coverage. I didn't cover that. That's also buffed. All these moves are buffed or changed, so I would check those out. Also Earthquake and Bulldoze, so their physical coverage is a little bit better, but overall I'd say their coverage is very equal because you don't have Hurricane on their physical sets. You don't have physical poison, or basically you don't have physical poison or ground moves. Sorry, gosh, you don't have physical poison or flying moves, but you don't have special steel or ground moves or rock moves. So you can, and probably a couple other things, but there's a couple of differences there. So you do have to pick and choose depending on the situation. Say you need a certain coverage move to hit a certain Pokemon on the trainer's team. Okay, use that ability changer that you have from the beginning of the hack. Use that, switch up to Drizzle, change your EVs around. Now you're chilling. Oh, next fight you want to run a defensive set. Next fight you want to run a supportive set, whatever it may be. It's a great Pokemon nonetheless, right? Use whatever you want. It's just a very customizable Pokemon as always, which is what I try to reach for in this hack, is to give people freedom to use different strategies. Amnesia and Stockpile and Swallow are also great with Aqua Ring to heal. Swallow is buffed in that it heals you by 100% HP always, no matter what, as long as you have a Stockpile boost up, and it's also a priority move, so it's basically like using a max potion and removing your Stockpile boost, which is really good. The reason I bring up the max potion analogy is because healing items are disabled in this hack, just for, that's like a bare minimum type change in my opinion. Incredibly powerful nuke moves. So for example, Wave Crash is from Legends Arceus and Sword Shield. Scarlet Violet. That is a 125 base power recoil move that deals 25% recoil only, which is not too bad. Not to mention, you have such a massive HP stat that you're not going to be dealing that much recoil to yourself. Otherwise, your only other physical water option is Dive or Liquidation. Liquidation is 10 points stronger than Dive. Dive gives you +1 accuracy, which is not that useful. It's mostly just for early and mid game, because after that you get Liquidation, which is mostly just a better move. And obviously, especially for water moves, you have a billion things. Your strongest options being Whirlpool and Hydro Cannon, and technically Water Spout, but you're slow, so Water Spout isn't that good. Although you could definitely take advantage of a mean Quick Claw set, because Quick Claw is also buffed. Again, you can see all these changes down below in the description. You can look at all these tabs, but here's a giant list of those, and you can check that out or pause the video or go to the Google Sheet and look at it yourself. I would recommend doing the latter. Quick Claw. What the heck? Sorry, I thought I heard something. Quick Claw always procs, although it is only a one-time use item, which is still incredible. So you can just slap Quick Claw Water Spout on and kill something, you know, with Drizzle, or Quick Claw Wave Crash and kill something and then swap out, you know, that kind of thing. That's really fun. You love to see that. I don't know what else to say, man. It's just a really great buff for the massive Wailord himself. Yeah, honestly, I think that there's not too much to talk about. I think these buffs fit very well. I think they are incredible. Well, I know they are incredible, obviously, but yeah, definitely the best we've ever seen Wailord. He deserves that title now, really. I mean, look at him, dude. He should be strong. Nothing overpowered at all. It's just a great Pokemon. If you are curious as to why the power levels in this pack are so high, feel free to check out my other videos or just look at the Google Sheet down below and you will see what I mean when I say that everything is good and viable and strong. I'm just scrolling through right now and you can really just go take a look yourself and, you know, hopefully it's enjoyable for you. If you did enjoy this video and you like these buffs and changes, make sure you drop a like. And if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you listen this far into the video and you haven't subscribed, 100% click that subscribe button. That would be very helpful for me. Yeah, check out my other videos. Go to Google Sheet down below if that interests you. You can also join my Discord server and talk to me in there, ask me questions, join the community, talk to other people, all that fun stuff. So, you know, feel free to do that as well. You can also join my Discord server to play my older ROM hack called Bear and Black in there. Not as in-depth as Sweltering Sun is, but it is still a very good hack. So consider that if this interests you and you're waiting for this. You know, you could consider playing it. Just keep in mind it's an older hack of mine, about 1.5 years old at this point. Yeah, thank you so much for listening, everybody, and I'm out.